No one can stop the Dallas Cowboys when they do this. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Dallas Cowboys are pursuing to land a $96 million star. Dallas Cowboys rumors are swirling as fans push the front office to make a run at newly released star defender Darius Leonard. The Indianapolis Colts announced the team's decision to release the 3-time Pro Bowler heading into Week 12. What happens next is slightly complicated. The Cowboys do not have full control if they wish to make a run at Leonard. The veteran will be subject to waivers where Dallas is near the bottom of the league thanks to their strong 7-3 record. Leonard's 5-year, $98.5 million contract is slated to run through 2026. Heading into the season, the veteran had a $15.7 million salary and $19.7 million dead cap hit. With less than 2 months remaining in the season, the Cowboys would only be on the hook for $6 million of this amount. A team claiming Leonard will pick up about $6 million in remaining salary. Fox Sports' Greg Auman tweeted on November 21, 2023, "If he clears waivers, Colts pay that remaining amount and he can sign where he wants." NFL Network's insider Ian Rapoport described the Leonard news as stunning. A contending team could land a new veteran defensive piece heading into the playoffs. Officially official, Rapoport said, reposting the Colts' release announcement. Still stunning. The case for Leonard on the Cowboys is simple, with Leighton Vander Esch's career in jeopardy. Marquise Bell has been a revelation for Dallas in Vander Esch's absence. Yet, this is a position that Dallas is light on the depth chart looking towards the postseason. The case for Leonard splits into 3 simple descriptors: can, will, and should. Can the Cowboys land Leonard? Dallas needs some help to make it happen. The main issue is that the Cowboys may not have an opportunity to add Leonard as a team ahead of them on waivers could put in a claim. Will the Cowboys make a run at Leonard? It remains to be seen. But Fox Sports' David Hellman believes it would be a more likely move if Leonard passes through waivers unclaimed. This would allow Dallas to set the terms on a new deal. I think this is very much a case of the current tape not matching the career resume, Hellman detailed on Twitter. Don't think the Cowboys need to make a claim on that contract. But if he clears waivers, maybe that's a different conversation. The final question is, should Dallas pursue Leonard? The 3-time All-Pros play in recent years has not been up to his typical standard. Through Week 11, the veteran earned a 60.3 grade from Pro Football Focus, out of 100. This is well below his 79 score in 2021. Leonard started 9 games for Indy this season, posting 65 tackles in 2023. The veteran played in just 3 games in 2022 as Leonard battled injuries. Leonard is just 2 seasons removed from achieving a rare All-Pro and Pro Bowl year. The linebacker notched 122 tackles, 8 forced fumbles, 8 pass deflections, 4 interceptions, and 3 fumble recoveries during 16 appearances in 2021. The second story is the Dallas Cowboys speak on their matchup against Commanders. The last time the Dallas Cowboys squared off against the Washington Commanders, the former needed the win for playoff seeding implications, and the latter had nothing to lose. But it was the Commanders suffocating the Cowboys at FedEx Field to the tune of a 26-6 final score. Fast forward to this week, and it'll be the first matchup of the 2023 season for the 2 longtime rivals, but don't count on Micah Parsons using Week 18 of last season as motivation for this coming Thanksgiving. That's last year's stuff, said the first-team All-Pro pass rusher. This is a really good team. In other words, don't get bitten by the snake lurking in the grass. It's definitely true that the Commanders often play better than their record would indicate, and almost always do when they're facing the Cowboys, but they've put up a serious fight for several heavy hitters in the NFC. They lost twice to the Philadelphia Eagles, but by only a combined 10 points, and they scored 31 points in each of those outings, with a chance in both contests to win late in the 4th quarter. They also lost by a field goal against the Seattle Seahawks, so Parsons says the Cowboys are getting ready for a dogfight. You turn on the tape, and they've been close to beating the Eagles. It could have gone either way, he said. The Giants game? I don't really count that because of the amount of turnovers. The Seahawks game went down to the wire. They remind me a lot of the Chargers. They're a really good team, but the ball doesn't roll to their side sometimes. This is a team that could and should be on a positive track. It's a team we need to take very, very seriously, and that's enough motivation. And, with that, Parsons and his defensive counterparts will try to take advantage of a porous offensive line that has allowed pressure on Sam Howell on nearly 40% of his dropbacks, with a league-most 51 sacks, as quarterback Dak Prescott and wideout CeeDee Lamb lead an offense that tries to detonate against the Commanders' secondary. With a home win streak on the line, one that could be pushed to 13 games and help to make the looming rematch with the Philadelphia Eagles matter in the race for the NFC East crown, the Cowboys understand the assignment. It's to make sure Thanksgiving is full of good eats, between the lines. The only way to not be impressed by Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott is to not want to be impressed by him. Dallas is 7-3, obliterating bad teams and largely staying competitive against the good ones. Prescott is playing some of the best football of his career. He's produced the third most expected points added in football, has slashed his interception percentage in half, and entering Week 12 has an outside shot at the league's most valuable player award. For some, that's not enough. Whether it's holding him accountable until he wins a Super Bowl or disregarding his prowess because the defense played well, Prescott cannot make some Cowboys fans happy. Despite the wins, the traditional stats, and the analytics, sometimes horses just aren't thirsty. To this day, the quarterback spoke about the criticism he gets on social media. "I get when fans are upset," Prescott said. "I get it. I was once there, I laugh at it, because I understand it's an angry fan." Last season's Walter Payton, Man of the Year winner, did indeed show some grace, but he wasn't joking about having been there before. In 2012, Dallas, quarterbacked by Tony Romo, choked it against their divisional rivals in Washington to cost themselves a playoff spot. "I'm done taking up for Romo." Head enough, Prescott, then a 19-year-old college QB, tweeted about his future senior teammate. Criticism is a part of playing quarterback for the Cowboys. With the biggest fan base, a stranglehold on the media's attention, and a pathway to easy clicks, that will always be the case. However, the uptick in sports gambling and fantasy football hasn't exactly eased fan-athlete tensions. If social media is bad after a loss, it can be even worse after coming up short for someone's parlay. Prescott, it seems, has found that out the hard way. "But then there are other cases," Prescott began. "Those are the times you have to remember. He must have had his whole rent on that one. Once again, I give him grace, and I understand and say, stop gambling." Prescott, on this day wearing a sweatshirt with resilience across his chest, is no stranger to the perils of social media. He'll look to keep the critics quiet on Thanksgiving when the Cowboys play host to the Washington Commanders in a tale of two teams trending in opposite directions. What will Dallas do with the nation's attention? The third story is the Dallas Cowboys. Daron Bland is breaking the NFL. Only 15 NFL wide receivers have more touchdowns than Daron Bland this season. Not bad for a cornerback. Bland tied an NFL single-season record on Sunday with his fourth interception returned for a touchdown, and he still has 7 games remaining to set a new mark. Bland picked off Carolina Panthers quarterback Bryce Young and returned it 30 yards early in the fourth quarter of the Cowboys' 33-10 win. His fourth pick six tied the previous record set by Eric Allen of the Philadelphia Eagles in 1993, Jim Kearney of the Kansas City Chiefs in 1972, and Ken Houston of the Houston Oilers in 1971. Bland's first chance to set a new record will be on Thanksgiving against the Washington Commanders, whose quarterback Sam Howell is tied for the league lead with 12 interceptions thrown. Bland had a 22-yard pick six in Week 1 against Daniel Jones and the New York Giants, a 54-yard pick six in Week 4 against Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, and a 30-yard pick six in Week 8 against Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. Bland is tied for the second most touchdowns on the Cowboys this season, matching tight end Jake Ferguson and trailing only wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. It was the 6th interception of the season overall for Bland, which is now tied for the most in the league with Baltimore Ravens safety Geno Stone. Bland, a 5th-round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, had 5 interceptions in 17 games during his rookie season. It wasn't the runaway train type of blowout the Dallas Cowboys have grown accustomed to against teams. They're heavy favorites against this season. on a game day that started out with great news for fans of America's team everywhere, as Jerry Jones finally announced Jimmy Johnson will join the Ring of Honor this December. The Cowboys still did more than enough to control the game in Carolina and move forward with a 33-10 victory. The Cowboys outgained the Panthers in total yards, 311, 187, didn't turn the ball over while generating 2 of their own with another defensive touchdown by Daron Bland. They continued to work out their run game issues with Tony Pollard's third-quarter touchdown, turning a one-score game into the more decisive win that Dallas earned on Sunday. Not only is the team handling a winnable stretch of games with workmanlike performances that have mostly allowed Dak Prescott to watch from the sideline by the fourth quarter,